Hey guys, and welcome back to How to Crucible. Today, we are doing the true prophecy. I have actually done this weapon before. This is the first repeat that we have here today. So, what we have today is true prophecy. I can give you my perks that I've got, and then I'm going to actually compare them to the perks that I had before, which actually isn't very different. So, the perks that we got for this gun are really cool, actually. Rangefinder is legit. It's like one of the better freaking traits that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's so good. When you zoom in and then that turns your range up to about 10,000, it's just the best feeling ever. And then it also has time payload, which is the one that I actually had previously. So my initial thoughts on this weapon is pretty good. So from the last video, we actually ended up with a 37.4 out of 50. All right, so about 13 points away from the final score of the weapon. So you get to see how this one compares, how this weapon compares actually, to that other score. So let's go ahead and move on to my overall feelings here. So the good things I noticed about this weapon: time payload is a beast. I was hitting people and they were running around corners and that thing would explode and they'd be dead. It was the best thing ever. That's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. It's really nice. And then some of the bad things, it's hitting your shots, really. I mean, if you don't hit your shots, you're getting toasted. So usage strategy. This gun, actually, you can be very aggressive with this gun. You can be very aggressive with this hand cannon. It is unreal how aggressive you can be with it. It is a solo monster. It's a 3-shot kill. Like, it's just a bop, 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 and you're done. You're done. Like, you don't even need to worry about anything else. There is a time in the video that you're actually probably seeing I'm including this video in there specifically because I went on a 10 kill streak, but like 6 or 7 of those kills were all by myself, and I was in enemy territory. I was surrounded, and I was just destroying people left and right. Now, I know they could have been, more noobs than they could have been, people that have played a lot of Crucible, but it was happening, okay? Destiny isn't one of those games where you can just sit and kill, and, rack up tons of kills before you get toasted. I mean, people have supers, people have got rocket launchers, they got shotguns and snipers now. Like, come on. They're absolutely destroying you. So usage strategy is kind of nuts because you can be aggressive with this weapon. All you have to do is keep your corners. You just play aggressively and keep your corners, and you are outstandingly destroying the enemy. So let's go ahead and move on to the numbers. So let's move on to kills and assists. So for kills and assists for this weapon in total, we were able to get 417. That's a lot, actually, compared to the other two. It's a lot. It's actually 100 more than the other two. Well, not the last weapon. It's 100 more than the bow. And then for total deaths, we actually had 205, which is, I think, it's actually more than the other two as well. So I actually ended up in a lot more gunfights in this one just because it's, I could be that more aggressive. So, a fun fact, could be just a little bit more aggressive. So my best game ended up being a 29 and 11. So that was probably my best game. Well, the highest kill game, I should say. But yeah, no, there's some really good games in here. Some really good ones. My average KD ended out to be a 2.23, which is crazy. That's a really high KD. If it's over a 2, that's nuts. I was literally having the time of my life using this weapon. I was having a great time using this gun. It was fun. It was powerful. I didn't need teammates' help. I just went in and just did my thing and ended the games with tons of kills. It was freaking awesome. Average kills, though, was 21. So that was pretty good. It actually averaged over 20 kills for this weapon. So that was really, really nice. So let's go ahead and head in to the How to Crucible score sheet. So, range first. Long range first. So, looking at long range. Long range, I am giving it an 8. Specifically because I had rangefinder, but also because this gun is just, a beast at range. Like, it did not matter if I was fighting a scout rifle or a pulse rifle. I mean, it did if they was super far away, but I'm talking about like the hand cannon's long range. Like at long range with the hand cannon, I was still doing a lot of damage, and I was still 3 to 4 shotting people from quite a ways away. So it was pretty good. I still did obviously get beat out by quite a few things, so I'm giving it an 8. But yeah, it was really cool at the longer range. Moving on to short range, I'm giving it a 9 because I didn't get killed by that many submachine guns. The only real thing that destroyed me at close range was a shotgun, and that's just not fair to fight against anyways because it's a one-shot kill, and I just can't help. I can't do nothing about it. But close range weapons, I was absolutely wrecking people. It was nuts. Like it was crazy. Like I don't know how to explain it. It was just fun. I was just destroying people left and right. Close range, it was nuts. But yeah, I can't compete with a shotgun, so we're at a 9. Moving on to recoil. Recoil, I'm dumping it down to a 7. The recoil is interesting. It is very poppy. Like it wants to go very high up in the air after each shot. So it is a bit weird controlling that recoil, but once you get the recoil down, it feels pretty smooth, really. So once you've actually, used the weapon a few times, so maybe use it in a strike or something and then go into the Crucible. Once you use it a few times, you actually, it's pretty smooth, really. It goes up, but it's kind of predictable. It's predictable where the weapon is shooting upwards and able to get right back down onto the target. So it's not actually that bad. But I am giving it a 7 because it's a hand cannon and it shoots your whole hand off every time it goes up. Moving on to solo kills. We're just going to do solo and team together right now. They're both getting 10s. This weapon, oh man, it was fun. I literally, if me and a teammate were fighting someone, they were easily toast. And if I'm alone by myself, the other person was toast most of the time. It was amazing. With a 2.23 KD, most of the times I was coming out successful in every single engagement. Like, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. It was awesome. It was so much fun. This gun was so much fun. So much freaking fun. Alright, so moving on to effectiveness. As we know, effectiveness is basically our kills and assists divided by the total engagements. So for my kills and assists, I ended with 417. Like I said before, my total engagements was 622. So if we do the math there and then multiply by 10, we can get a 6.7 for effectiveness. Effectiveness is one of those perks, is one of those ones that is going to be difficult getting up to 7s, 8s, and 9s and 10s because it's purely based off of my KD. So if I am doing insanely good and not dying ever, then the effectiveness is going to be through the roof. So yeah, no, it's pretty nuts. 6.7 is still very high. To give you context, actually, the an effectiveness rating of 6.7 isn't actually that high. That's actually kind of nuts. It actually isn't that high because my bow got a 6.15 and I ended with a 1.7 KD. So my KD literally has to be a 6 for this thing to be good. But yeah, it's kind of a fairness test for the weapon because I could inflate all the other numbers, and then that one is like, hey, you didn't do that well. So that makes me rethink my numbers a little bit. So, but yeah, 6.7. That's basically what we got. Moving on to frustration. Frustration obviously is a 0. I had a ton of fun with this weapon. I didn't really ever feel like I was being held back by anything. It was just a really good weapon. It was just fun to use overall, all around, very fun to use. So if we add all those up to get our final HTC rank, it is going to be a 50.7. So if we compare that to the other one, it was a 50.7 or a 34.7, but that was 13 away. This is 10 away, so it actually got a little bit better. the second time I used it around. I think it might have got a little buff on it, but the range for this weapon with the rangefinder is nuts. This is a god roll, 100% a god roll. If you can get this roll on True Prophecy, you're rocking. Like, this one is getting locked and being kept on my person. We're using this a lot. This is actually crazy good. So let's move on to the ranking, shall we? To the ranking. So for the True Prophecy, it is the first hand cannon that we've ever done. So it's going to be sitting there atop all of the hand cannons, because it's literally by itself. And it's going to be there with a 50.7, just chilling on the top of the thing. Moving on to, in total of the HTC, is going to be number 1. True Prophecy is actually sitting on top at number 1 with a 50.7 over the GN rifle with a 46.8, as well as the Arsenic Bite with a 38.65. So it is sitting up there. We've got 3 guns down. A lot more to go. Trust me, every gun that I'm going to do now is not going to sit on the top. It might, but it won't sit on the top every single time. We're going to start getting in the mix there, because now we're past 3, so things are going to start getting a little bit interesting. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. How to Crucible is really fun to do, and I enjoy doing it, so I'm going to keep doing it. But yeah, I don't know what the next weapon is going to be. I haven't really thought about that yet, but thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next How to Crucible.